Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coach. How are we feeling today? My name is Blake Newby, and I'm so excited to be here on, unfortunately, the last day of Women's History Month. I know. See, I feel like it's just like it always should be like Women's History Year at all times. Anyway, but I am so excited today because today I am joined by two incredible women who have been making history themselves. You guys already know, Suni and Tara Davis-Woodhall. Now, before I bring out the ladies, I do want to, again, these are ladies who need no introduction, but I'm going to give them one anyway. So Suni Lee is an Olympic gold medalist and one of the most dynamic gymnasts of her generation. Known for her resilience, precision, and grace under pressure, she has become a global symbol of perseverance and representation, both on and off the mat. Suni continues to inspire through her work ethic, authenticity, and impact beyond sport. Can I get a round of applause for Suni Lee? There she is. Do you guys see how fabulous she looks? Hello. And of course, we have the beautiful Tara Davis-Woodhall. Yeah, whichever one.
Okay.
Tara Davis-Woodhall, she is the reigning gold medalist and world champion in the long jump, a two-time Olympian ranked #1 globally. She has been undefeated in the long jump over the last 2 years. Her signature style and electric personality have made her a fan favorite both on and off the field. And she now serves as the assistant track and field coach at Kansas State University, where she mentors the next generation of athletes, sharing her expertise, work ethic, and love for the sport. Tara. The set memo when we were picking what we were going to wear today. Clearly, all of us wanted to wear a cute set.
It's the easiest thing.
It requires
no effort, I feel like.
No effort.
No thinking.
Now, before we dive in, as we just talked about the looks, I do have to thank Coach, of course, for having us here today. And talks like this, guys, are going to become the norm because this talk is a part of an ongoing conversation series that is all about bringing together a community of boundary-breaking individuals, like these two divas right here, and people from all different fields and walks of life who have made a real difference in a world because of their courage, their confidence, and the way that they express themselves. Coach is committed to lifting up these boundary breakers and, through hearing their stories, making all of us a little bit more courageous as well. So ladies, we're gonna dive right in because I feel like there's so much that we could ask and so much that we could talk about. So I wanna start off by acknowledging, of course, that you all are two gold Olympic medalists. Can we get a... Yes. And it's not every day that athletes of your caliber come together and share your point of view. So I have to ask, we spoke about breaking boundaries. Do you guys, this might be a tough question, but what does courage mean to you? And do you think that you're courageous?
That's like a very deep question to start off with, so thank you.
We're starting off heavy, and then we'll make it lighter as we go.
I feel like courage to me is one of those things that you learn and you develop throughout your time and through, I feel like, trial and error. Courage to me is to never give up. I feel like, I'm courageous. I feel like this sport is such an individual sport. I could have given up a long time ago, and I chose to stay in this sport. And so, I feel like courage and courageous, I could put that.
We're happy you stuck with it.
Oh, thank you.
We're very happy you stuck with it.
I think for me, courage is stepping out and doing whatever you love the most, especially when you're like uncomfortable. I feel like that's when it speaks the most, I guess, like value, and that's like when it stands out the most because you're scared. And for me, I feel like I'm really courageous because we go through, I mean, not even just me, both of us as athletes, all of us in here, I feel like we all go through so many hardships. Not everything in life is perfect. Like, social media is not real. I mean, I'm sure all of us know that.
Can you say that again?
No, for real. And I have to constantly remind myself that because we're constantly put in situations, especially as a gymnast, where we're comparing ourselves to others and other Olympic medalists or other athletes in general. So I feel like being courageous is just stepping out, doing what you love, and being certain with yourself.
Yeah, and I want to stay with you because I would love if you could tell us a little bit about what life was like growing up for you and where you found your confidence through those years.
Yeah, growing up definitely was not easy. Sorry, I'm like low-key, I'm like kind of nervous.
Why? This feels like girl
It's
talk.
just a
It's like
conversation.
intimate.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're on
yes.
FaceTime.
Yeah.
We're on
FaceTime.
No, I always tell people, I'm like, I do flips for a living, like I don't cheat. But I feel like growing up was definitely not easy. Both of my parents are immigrants, so it was definitely very hard, especially in an Asian household, and trying to push and break those barriers. But now I feel like it's definitely shaped me in such an amazing way. Like my character, I feel like I kind of carry myself like very well, even though not everything is perfect behind the scenes. And it's built so much confidence because being an athlete and a gymnast, I've had to spend a lot of time by myself, and I've had to grow up really quickly. So I've just learned to love myself and to just be confident in who I am and comfortable in my skin.
Yeah, I love that. And Tara, similarly, you know, there's oftentimes it's like a moment kind of that people are like, this is what's going to, this leads me down my path. Was there a moment for you where it was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Was there a pivotal moment that was an indicator for you?
Yeah, I feel like there's like so many little moments, but I feel like when I was in 7th grade, I was the smallest of all school. Like, of all the athletes, of all the girls, I was always the smallest. And with being the smallest, I was always getting beat. And so like losing, obviously we don't like losing, but I hated losing. And like something about being in the summer of 7th grade, like all the girls are going through puberty, they're all wearing the cute new bras, like all this stuff, and I'm losing at track, the one thing I want to do. And so I told my parents, like, I'm gonna quit. I don't want to do this sport anymore. And they just said, okay. I was like, what?
You're like, fight back.
I'm like, well, like, tell me I should be going to practice tomorrow. Like, don't tell me I should give up. And they were like, okay, if you don't want to do it, then you don't have to do it. I was like, oh no. Oh no, I don't like this. And so I think in that moment, I found my determination in sport. I found that I truly, truly do love winning, and I would do anything it takes to, you know, put myself in that best position to win. And I kid you not, that next track meet, I beat them girls.
I bet you did.
Freaking 5'8" and I was 4'11", I swear. I beat them.
And you don't lose much these days.
No.
Yeah. And what I love about both of you guys is that you guys are really unapologetically yourself in a time and in a space, like you said about social media, where you all have been subject to a lot of public scrutiny. So what gives you all the confidence to still stand in that light, almost knowing for certain that somebody is gonna have a problem with it?
I think for me, it's like, I know all of the work that I put in, and I'm so confident in myself. Like, I will always bet on myself, and I think I've had to learn that because I used to be so self-conscious, doubt myself all the time. You know, being the only Asian girl in the gym was definitely very, very tough. Not seeing a lot of like representation in that aspect. So looking to my parents, my family, my friends, and to just be those people in my life that were supporting me, but also being like, you're the best one in there. Like, you got this, you own that place. And also I had such amazing coaches to support me along the way. So I feel like it's just given me that confidence. I definitely used to struggle with it. I feel like I've been in the public eye for gymnastics since I was about 11 years old. And people have always had something to say. And that was definitely very difficult for me, especially growing up, you know. Not a lot of people teach you about social media, especially when you're an athlete and so new to everything. I wasn't media trained and I didn't know. I always just said what was on my mind. So it's like, now I'm like, I'm confident in myself. I know my truth. I know all of the work that I put in. You're probably sitting there eating a bag of chips, not doing anything.
Sorry.
Like, so it doesn't bother me anymore. Like,
You felt that way.
yeah, like it definitely sucks. But for me, I'm like, and I have a gold medal and you don't.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. That's why.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I imagine it's a similar experience for you.
Please. Honestly, I love when haters hate.
Yeah, same. It gives me so much motivation.
Oh my gosh. And I love proving people wrong. I love, like, there's this anonymous website for track athletes, like for runners or whatever. And I was 19 years old. I had just transferred schools. My coach was just not a good coach. I was struggling with depression, anxiety, new to this. And my coach blocked me. And I made an Instagram video talking about like, telling the world like what happened. Like, hey, my coach blocked me from no reason. Blocking means like I couldn't compete at any university ever.
Wow.
And for 1 whole year. So it's like, he gets to block me, take away my career, and do all this stuff. And he's just a coach. Like, he has his career in his hands.
Yeah.
So I went online and I exposed it. Oh my gosh, when I tell you, that opened up a can of worms for just like these cowardly men hiding behind
A keyboard.
a keyboard and an anonymous account. So this account, Let's Run, or page, there was 32 pages talking about me and how I am a prima donna because I was transferring, and how this is the best coach in the world, and how all of these, like, they made up all of these conspiracy theories, all these things about me that weren't even true, and that took me out. Because I was like, you guys don't even know me. There's 32 pages of anonymous hate towards a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I supposed to get over this? I read, Tara Davis is not an international threat. I said, heard. That
It sounds like you thrive
That was in
on your
2023.
haters. Like, you thrive on it.
You have to.
I
Otherwise,
agree.
it did put me down.
Yep.
And I saw what it would do to me. I saw how the words treated me and made me feel, and I just switched it around. I was like, you know what? You're talking about me. You're watching.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch me win. And they did, and now they don't have anything to say.
But for those of us, I think that's everybody in this room, that cannot respond to someone and say, well, you're on your sofa and I have a gold medal, unless anybody in here has a gold medal that I am unaware of. Okay, so for those of us that can't respond with such a mic drop moment, what is some advice for, because at the time you didn't have a gold medal when that happened, so how did you get through it? Like, what is you all's advice for still maintaining that confidence, like I said, when we can't flex a gold medal?
Yeah, I mean, like Suni said, you know your truth.
Yeah.
You know how hard you've been working. You know where you are in your progress and your journey. They do not. They're not in your shoes. They're not reading the emails that you're reading. They're not sending send. Like, they have no idea what's going on in your world. And it's your world, and that is okay. Yeah. And we all get caught up in other people's lives and this, that. Like, you only have you at the end of the day. No matter if you're married, you have a great relationship with your parents, your brain is the only thing that's talking to you. Treat it nicely and give some positivity into it, and I promise, woo.
Yeah. How we speak to ourselves really matters.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, because I watch my sister and all of my friends go through it, and I always just tell them, like, there's so much expectation from the world to have your life together. I'm like, you guys are so young. I look around in here, I'm like, everyone is so young. There's so much life to live, and there's so much to be confident and happy with, because you guys have all accomplished so much. So I like to just give yourself that grace. There's no expectation to be perfect, to have your life together right away. I think it's nice to have a goal in mind, but I think for me it's all about the journey and just making sure that you enjoy it, and that, I don't know, I feel like you don't ever want to look back and regret not giving it your all or doing something that you didn't truly love, because there's only so much time in the world. But at the same time, you guys are so young. Everyone in here is so young. So it's like, we do have so much time. So just be confident in that and trust yourself. I think that's the best thing for me, because I put so much trust in myself. I always know the outcome. I'm the type of person where if I want something, like, I'm gonna get it. And I think I just have used that mindset my entire 23 years of my life. And it's gotten me here. So I'm just, I would say just trust yourself and give yourself grace.
And of course, as we talked about earlier, it is Women's History Month. Now for you, your Olympic win, not only did it make history just for the US, but also for Asian American women and the Hmong community.
Yeah.
So what did that feel like to know that your win was so much bigger than you?
It was crazy. I think at the time I didn't realize how big it really was and how little representation there was of Hmong women, and just, I feel like Asian women in general, speaking about all of the things that we have to go through. So It's crazy because I get a lot of DMs and TikTok videos and tags and people saying like, oh, I went here and they asked me what ethnicity I was and I was Hmong. And they're like, oh, like Suni Lee. And to me, that's just so crazy and it's amazing to say because I feel like all I wanted to do was go out there and do gymnastics. I didn't really realize how big of an impact it would make. So it's so amazing now, and I like to go back home and I like to give back to the community, be with my family as much as possible and spend as much time with them because it's cool to them. Like, it's fun. I'm like, we're just spending time together, and being with the community as well is so amazing because growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. Like, my parents couldn't afford to come to my meets. I couldn't pay for my leotard, so the Hmong community, my cousins, my uncles, my aunts, everybody would gather around. My mom would make a big pot of pho, and everybody would bring their own food, and it would just, everybody would share it. But there was also like a fundraiser. I would get up there and sing. I would do like
A
tumbling.
woman of many talents.
Yeah, I was doing
many
tumbling. I
talents.
was doing all the things. So it's just really nice to see the community come together, and I feel like that's what's so important to me.
And
Sorry.
Tara, I know that earlier, and I know we kind of touched on this, I guess, the coach story, not this coach.
My coach.
The bad coach.
Yeah.
The bad coach.
No, not my coach.
Not this is that good coach.
That's the good one.
This is that good coach.
Period.
But, you know, I know that you spoke about, you know, there were expectations put on you then that you were able to really prove them wrong. But was there a time more recently where you felt like you really pushed the expectations that people had for you?
Yeah, I feel like me being undefeated for the past 2.5 years has really...
say it again.
Me being undefeated! Always, will forever, always. That was on my goal board in 2024 to go undefeated, and then it was on my goal board again for 2025. And that undefeated is, yes, it's number one on the books, but it's something different for me. It's showing that I never gave up. Like every track meet is a stepping stone to get better. Every practice, every rep is to get better, to be undefeated. And that's undefeating, like I want to beat myself every single time. And it's me versus myself. Like every time everyone asks me who's your competitor, I always say me. It's me every single time. Because it's just like, I have to excel what I have dreamed of doing, and I put on my goal board. Like, it's something that seems so simple, or like, oh, you're just achieving a goal. Like, no, like, I worked for something, and I see the success, I see the outcome, and it makes me want to do it again. Yeah. And yeah, that's...
So then, I mean, I have to ask, what's a goal, if you're willing to tell us? I know some people don't like to jinx it.
No.
What's a goal on the goal board that you can tell? Or is there one that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I feel like I have done almost, won all the competitions. I feel like
What a flex.
I feel like my end goal is to be in the record books. I want the American record. I want the world records. I want any stadium I step in, I want to break the stadium record. Like, I just want to engrave my name in of all of track history.
Well, it's gonna happen.
Thank you.
It's gonna happen.
I'm manifesting it.
It's
you
gonna
guys,
happen.
if you'd like to manifest it when you get home, write it in your journal for me.
Yeah.
We're all gonna manifest it collectively for Tara. And Suni, I'm so happy that you said earlier that social media is not real.
Yeah.
Okay? So I have a question for the audience. How many of you all feel like you show up authentically on social media? Ooh.
That's my best friend.
Okay, all right. Now, I have to ask you ladies, because you guys show up in a way that feels authentic, but we know that a lot of what you do on social media is your job.
Yeah.
And you do have to follow some rules when it comes to to the social media. So how do you all show up as authentically as you can? How do you all toe that line?
I actually feel like I don't do as good as I probably should be doing. I get yelled at like every day for not posting anything. Just because it's our job.
I thought you were going to say enough. You said anything.
Posting anything. I have always just valued the privacy in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I love that so much, and I share what I want to share. I don't necessarily have to post all of the time. But if it's to help others and to inspire others, then it is really important to me. So whenever I do get on there, I try to make it impactful. But yeah, I think being authentic is just being, how do I put this in, like, I don't know how to say it exactly, but like, I feel like I'm still comfortable and confident in the person that I am. So I know when I do get on social media, I'm like, okay, like I am being as authentic as possible. I don't have to share everything in my life, but I am sharing all the things that I want to share. And I feel like it's just a good tool for everybody because I think it brings us together as a community. And it's a lot of fun for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Social media is my job. Yeah.
It is.
My husband and I have been on social media since 2017, so we've kind of like found the ins and outs and do's and don'ts of posting on social media. But my husband and I, we've always tried to just share the most authentic versions of ourselves, whether that be me crying because I'm running, or Hunter throwing up because he's running, or just like inside home. Like we've always just made YouTube videos. And the privacy question, it's like I've taken the responsibility of being online and being a social media. I don't like influencer because I'm an athlete, but
You are influential.
But
though. You are quite influential.
Being an influential athlete.
An influential athlete.
I do know I have the responsibility and to share, and I love sharing that side of the not so good side. I love sharing about going through depression, anxiety, because I didn't have that. When I went online, it was all unicorns and rainbows and glitz and glamour, and no one was talking about mental health. And once I started talking about mental health, everyone's like, whoa, like, I actually relate and I understand. And so that kind of switched my brain of like, oh, you can share this side of your brain without getting like on. If that makes sense. Because everyone's like, oh, well, you're doing really well in life, or you got this, you got that. I'm like, yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but the thing that's in my head isn't working. And like, if I can find a community out there to help me get through this, like I'm gonna continue posting about it, and I have. And it's shown a lot, and I'm really thankful for that one day of me posting that, saying I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I think what I love about this generation of female athletes is that you all are so authentic and really badass. Like y'all really are so unapologetically yourselves. It's the way that you all aren't too humble, if that makes sense. Like you all pop it when you need to because you deserve to. And so what does it feel like for you to be a part of, we're seeing a surge even with the WNBA, just everything. We're just seeing women dominate sports and own it. What does it feel like to be two of the women that are included in this group?
It's powerful. I think it's impactful and it's fun. I think for all of us, because I think as women, I feel like we have always been so afraid to kind of use our voice, and now is like the moment. Like this is our time, and it's really inspiring for me to be able to watch other athletes like Tara and I don't know, just like any other WNBA. I feel like they're all so like, they say what's on their mind, and I love it. Because I'm like, you guys let all of these men like say whatever they want, it's fine and dandy, but like when it comes to us, everything we say gets nitpicked and it's annoying, it gets turned around. Like, so for now, I'm like, I'm happy with that. I'm excited. I think there's so much more to come for women, and this is just the beginning.
Yeah, it's so insane. Growing up in a sports household, my dad always had football on, always had basketball on, always had men's sports on, and I would only see like Serena Williams on the screen, or if I'm watching track, of course, Allison Felix and the track women. But on ESPN, it was just a bunch of men. And now turning on ESPN, I see Suni, I see me, I see like the girls that I'm actually with, and it's so insane to hear that from other girls. Like, I look up to you, like I saw you on my TV and I look up to you, it's like, whoa. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe like I have the honor of changing the sport or changing the way that society looks at women's athletics.
Yeah.
And they're realizing, first of all, women are hot when they work out.
The outfits are very tea.
The outfits are tea. Like, okay, brands, why aren't we connecting with the women athletes?
Yes.
They're out there sweating. Let's see what your sweat proof is like. Let's see what your eyeliner can do. Let's see like how like all your stuff can actually work on a human body that's actually doing human movements.
Yeah.
And that it's just so cool just watching like all these makeup brands and just come and
Snatch you guys
move
up.
to women's sports.
Yes.
It's so inspiring.
Yes, yes. Now, I do want to open it up to the audience because I want us to get interactive here. Does anyone want to share or have an anecdote of how they feel watching this generation of female athletes and all this winning? Anybody? Yes.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I was actually a gymnast for 10 years, so
Oh,
I'm
so cool.
following your careers in the junior elite.
Oh my gosh, it was a baby.
And I was just like, I love how, watching both of you compete, I see, the way that you have your identity separated from yourself as an athlete. Because a lot of casual watchers, I wouldn't call them fans, because seeing the things that they say and trying to like block out all that noise, I think is really important. And the way that you guys have done is really admirable. So I just want to share that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Love that. That 100%.
Yeah, thank you. That's crazy. You've been
Anyone
watching
else?
for a
Okay,
while.
we have a mic for you this
Like,
time.
real life, like fans from when I was little.
Hi, I'm Eden. I just want to speak on how, like, especially at the last Olympics, like, I was playing rugby at the time, and it was kind of unknown in my town for, like, female athletes to be playing rugby. And just seeing how the Olympics is so dominated by women, like, this past one, it was so inspiring to see, especially in hometowns where I suddenly, like, see little girls at parades, like, wearing, like, T-shirts with your names on it, and then also for me in the rugby community, like seeing these girls getting so excited to like kind of celebrate how they had the representation on TV, just the way like the other male students and male athletes had. So it was really nice to see.
Oh, thank you.
I love this. I love when the girls give the girls their flowers. I love this. Okay, so we are going to move on because, like I said, we are here at Coach, and I'm happy that you mentioned the fashion brands and things like that because we can't be here at Coach without talking about style. So for a lot of us, fashion is not just about having fun. It really is a true form of self-expression, a way to make ourselves feel more confident. We've been using that word a lot today, and everything in between. So I want to ask both of you all about your style. How would you describe it, and how does it outwardly express who you are?
Ooh, my style. It's all over the place. I would say it's just like a sporty chic. I feel like I've been very expressive with my styling ever since, I could remember dressing my own self. And I love to not wear athletic clothing. I'm in athletic clothing 24/7. I go through 2 fits a day for each workout. And so it's like, when I get to put a fit on, like a true, like, fashionista fit, like I'm like, oh, thank God. Like rat doll, Barbie doll, dress me up, play with my hair, and do whatever. And it's so nice to just separate that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's hard in track and field because we never have time to dress up.
Yeah.
Track is from January to October, so we never have time to really play dress up. And the time I do get to play dress up, it's on the track. And if you see, I'm makeup, so much jewelry, watches, rings, everything. Because I want to feel so feminine, but look so badass doing it.
I've always wondered.
Yeah?
I'm so happy that I have you here.
Okay.
I've always wondered, specifically for track athletes, with the jewelry and all those things.
Yeah.
It doesn't inhibit you in any way.
I have a gold medal.
Hey, she told me. Well, there we have it, y'all. There we have it, folks. The rings, the jewelry, it does not mess up anything.
I would, maybe I should try it. Maybe I'll get the world record, I don't know.
Okay, Suni.
But yeah, I feel like for me, I'm very versatile. I think especially moving to New York, I've loved everything about fashion, learning about fashion, working with all of these brands. But I feel like I've always been really expressive in my fashion when I compete. I get the opportunity to design all of my Leos, so I get to pick the colors and then pick how many diamonds or whatever I want to put on it. So that's always been really exciting for me because I could always do my hairstyle accordingly and then do my makeup and beat it however I wanted it to be, and I just felt so confident in myself. And I think that's something that I really wanted to learn because I never was really confident in the way that I dressed outside of it. But now I feel like I've kind of stepped into that, which is really exciting because it's always been so uncomfortable for me. So I love wearing like a dress, or I love wearing a skirt. Same thing to what she was saying. I don't like wearing athletic clothes all of the time. Like I like to be in heels because I'm 5'1", like I'm tiny. I want to be tall, and I want my legs to show, you know, like I just want to feel, it makes me feel really confident.
And I have to ask, because in the sports that you all are in, comfort really is key.
Yeah.
So when you guys are not on the track, on the mat, are you totally down to compromise comfort for fashion?
Yeah. I mean, okay, to a point.
To a point, okay.
To a point. I'm always good for a baggy, oversized look.
Okay.
I love an Adam Sandler outfit. Like,
Okay.
you know, like a
Throw
big
heel on,
tee,
though.
big shorts. Like I love that.
And then a heel.
Yeah,
and then throw a heel on.
Why not?
And then throw a heel. I love. Now, Suni, I'm so happy that you mentioned that your move to New York. Because being here, you've been doing the New York Fashion Week scenes, all of the things. What has that transition been like?
It's been so much fun. I think being here, I've really grown into myself and really matured. I have loved living here. I've loved every second of it. I've met such amazing people, and I've had such amazing opportunities and experiences. And doing the fashion weeks, it's been really cool to just go here and see all of these like celebrities and be in some of these rooms, because in my head,
Well,
I'm
you
like,
are one of the celebrities, my love. You are.
I just do flips.
Literally, I just don't
I'm
follow these
like,
flips.
yeah, I think it was just
So funny.
such a whirlwind, because when
Yeah.
I was at the Olympics, you know, I never really cared for anything that came after it. I mean, I wouldn't say I never really cared. I didn't know what came after it. I didn't know that I was going to be in the public eye all the time, or people were going to care that I went to an event, you know, because I just did it to do gymnastics, and I wanted to win, and that was the reason for being there. I didn't know everything that it came with, but I'm so grateful. And I've been so blessed to have such an amazing team to help me get around everywhere. Both my managers are here, so it's just been really fun to go through this journey with both of them.
And Tara, for you, you've said before that your family has also impacted your style and your fashion sense. So how do those personal origins shape how you put together an outfit and how you show up in the outfit?
Well, my mom starts off by roasting me if she doesn't like what I'm wearing, so I have to go back and change. And then my grandma, oh my goodness, that woman, yeah.
Then you get roasted twice.
Exactly.
Okay.
One time, Hunter outdressed me. Fair point, fairly.
Okay.
He outdressed me. My grandma called me, she said, never let that happen again. I said, yes, ma'am.
And you've never let it happen again?
Absolutely not. Oh my God, you should hear it's like, go change. You need to go change. I want to look comfy, go change. Or vice versa. But yeah, I feel like just the influence in my life of just really strong Black women who just held their confidence to such like a high standard that there was no way I could walk out even down on myself, because there was someone hyping me up in the background always. If it wasn't my mom, it was my grandma, or it's my dad. Like, there's always someone, and now I'm lucky enough to have like my husband doing it too, and just, you know, I just had to learn that.
And speaking of being hyped up, has there ever been a time throughout your career where you wore something that made you feel particularly fabulous, or the reaction you got via social media was particularly fantastic?
Yeah, I was my infamous cowboy boots and cowboy hat.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that, when I am in my uniform and I'm in a cowboy hat and cowboy boots, it's like a whole new character is unlocked. It's like, that's Tara Davis-Woodhall. And it's just this really cool, like, superpower feeling of just that's one badass cowgirl. Hello. And after I like national championships and stuff, we go out to like a bar. It's called the Wild Duck, and each year I will go in my uniform, cowboy hat and cowboy boots, like as the set. And it's really fun. It's a really fun like experience, and it just makes me feel so confident. It makes me feel like I got to choose my character, for sure.
Suni.
I feel like for us, there's only so much that we can do. I mean, we're like basically half naked out there.
But it can be off the mat too. If there was there a New York Fashion Week moment, like any time where you.
Honestly, I think anytime at the Olympics, I was wearing a red lip. That was like the most confident I've ever been, because I remember feeling so hesitant to wear it. I'm like, is this too bold? Like, are people gonna think I look crazy? And everyone was like, no, you have to wear it. Like, it looks beautiful, you look confident. And I wore this beautiful red leotard with like so many sparkles, and I absolutely loved it. I designed it, so it was like I put the whole outfit together, and I had like one of the best competitions ever. And I think at that meet, I made it to Olympic trials. So it was just so much fun. But I think during Fashion Week, I think walking the Victoria's Secret runway had to have been. Yeah,
Yes.
I like forgot about that. That was a really cool and special moment.
Well, you looked fabulous.
Thank you.
Now I have to ask in here, and just throw it out. Like, let's just say it aloud. Who are some female athletes that you all look to for fashion inspo?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
One more? Okay, so then I'll ask.
My queen, my Minnesota queen.
So then I have to ask you guys, what female athletes do you all look to for maybe the occasional fashion inspo?
Definitely Naomi Osaka.
She's
Hello. And I'm with Nike, so I'm like, Nike. Yeah, Naomi, she's just been killing it. There's that.
Yeah.
As soon as she walks on the court,
Yep.
you know. Oh.
Yep.
And it's like she has the confidence. Like, she's not winning every match, but she's winning every match because of how good she looks. So it's like, I'll do that.
Yep.
That's sick.
Yeah, she looks fire. I would say off the court, I love Angel Reese's style. I feel like she's so versatile. Like, she just looks absolutely stunning in everything that she wears. But yeah, Naomi Osaka was a good one.
Yeah.
She's really cool. We have like the same hairstylist, so he always is like telling me and showing me, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could wear that in gymnastics. Like, it would look so cool.
It might be a little too much.
I might be able to
Can you
do
imagine
like
doing
the
a
whole like.
beam with the bow on the back of you?
Oh my gosh, please.
I think she's giving you some ideas here. I'm just saying. I think
No, yeah.
Content.
That's what I'm saying. I think you should try it, at least for the content, like you said. Now, I want to, again, as you guys see everywhere, it says explore your story. And I do want to talk a little bit about stories, because Coach has brought us together here today because they want to connect people who have powerful stories to share. And their spring campaign, Explore Your Story, is all about the transformational power of storytelling and how it can change your POV, open up new possibilities, and bring people together. So I know we just talked about women that inspire you guys through fashion, but on the last day of Women's History Month, I just want to know about a woman whose story has inspired you overall.
I definitely would have to say my mom.
Yeah.
She is the strongest person that I know, and I think a lot of the time she feels unseen. So I like to make it a priority to like make her know that she's a really, really freaking good mom, and that I wouldn't have been here without her. She's just been so inspiring through my whole entire journey and everything that she's had to overcome to get here. You know, it's not easy. She came during the Vietnam War, so she's had to sacrifice a lot. And I think a lot in Asian culture, it's like a normal thing where our parents like sacrifice everything for us and we give everything back to them. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now. She's incredible, and I just want her to have everything because she's given me everything.
That's so sweet.
We love mamas.
Yeah.
We love mamas.
I would say my grandma. She is one. Like, I keep on saying badass because women are badass, but
We
she's
are.
so badass. And She came from New York, from Rochester to Texas to start her own journey with her real estate, and she was just in the mud for quite some time, and she got out of the mud, and watching the life that she has provided for herself is something that I want to do for my own self, and she's just so strong and independent. Like, I can't imagine my life without her, for how much she pushes me, how much she tells me that you're gonna do it, and you're going to be the greatest to do it. And my grandpa just passed away, and the fact that she's still so strong after being married for 40 years, like, hasn't been alone in 40 years, and now she's going to bed by herself. Like, I call her almost every single day just to make sure she's, you know, okay. Like, that's hard, but she's honestly thriving. Like, she is not trying to let this get her down, because she's like, we've been married for 40 years. Like, it was the most beautiful 40 years of my life, and I'm still here, and I still get to live my life. And she's going back to her scrapbooking sisters. She's playing bridge every night. So, like, that determination to continue to have joy when something so devastating happens to you, like, that's why I look up to her. Like,
It really speaks to our resilience as
Yeah,
women,
as women.
even at the lowest points of our life.
yes.
Now, I want to talk about you all. Of course, you talked about your mom's story, your grandmother's story, but I want to talk about your story. So, and this can be personal or professional, because I think that it's easy for us to assume what the high point of your professional career would be. But what would you consider just a high point in your story?
I would say when I got diagnosed with my kidney disease, I think that was the hardest time of my life. And I mean, I don't think, I know. It was the hardest time of my life. It's very hard when, like, gymnastics, for example, was like, basically my doctor was like, you're never gonna be able to do this again. And I looked at him and I was like, yes, I will. And I went right into the gym after that, and I remember not telling my coach, because I was like, I'm doing this, like, whether he likes it or not, I'm doing it. Like, if it kills me, that's okay.
What's your
because
sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, but that definitely was like the hardest time, and I had such an amazing support system, like my managers, my doctors, my coaches too. I think we were all navigating and learning how to get over this and work through this as much as possible together, because it was very isolating. My coaches have never coached anybody that had kidney disease to where they were never going to be able to do it again. So it was a learning experience for all of us, and then getting over that and making it to the Olympics, I think, was a very, very high point. But I think it got hard again once I kind of decided, or had the thought in my head, that I wanted to be done, because I've worked so hard for 18 years for gymnastics. I didn't know what else to do. So I think right now is a very, very high point in my life, and it's been super exciting because I've been navigating and seeing life outside of gymnastics and just getting to know myself, be Suni and not Suni the gymnast, the Olympian. I just want to be Suni, and I want to be fun, and I want to enjoy every experience and every moment that I'm able to have.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, that was so good. I forgot the question. Wow, I was so invested.
What has been a high point?
Oh, wow.
You are a great storyteller.
Wow.
Am I?
You are.
Yeah.
You are.
I feel like I'm rambling.
You can do a lot more than flips, girl. You can do a lot
thanks.
more than flips.
I would say a high point, I said this earlier, it was getting a scholarship to 2 universities. I went to University of Georgia and went to University of Texas, and my parents never had to pay a dime. And just getting that, like, they helped me so much throughout my life, and getting to me to where I am, like going to a very prestigious school where the tuition is very expensive. Like, that was the best thing I could have done for me, for my parents. And then, yeah, just actually going to college and getting a degree. It's one of those things where everyone's like, oh, you don't need a degree, but once I started, I wanted to quit so many times.
Yeah.
And like I said, I never gave up, and I had to, once I got that diploma in the mail, I cried so many tears, because all of that pain, all of that stress and worry and depression, anxiety, everything that came from just a freaking piece of paper, like,
Yeah.
It felt worth it.
100%.
Yeah.
Everything that I went through,
Yeah.
it definitely felt worth it.
You're making me want to go back to school. And I don't
Ooh,
ever
it's
want to go
never
back to
too-
school.
oh, okay. So y'all are both. So she would not suggest. She would not suggest. Now we talked about a high point. I would love to talk about a plot pivot.
Okay.
So has there ever been a moment where you felt like we're gonna need to pivot here?
Yes. After the 2020 Olympics, I was supposed to go back to Texas, back to the University of Texas coach. But he was just a coach. There was no personal relationship behind it, and I didn't feel seen. He didn't coach me at the Olympics because I ended up bringing my dad, because my dad was my coach my entire life, and no one was allowed at the Olympics. So I asked, like, my dad was able to go to the Olympics, he's gonna come to the Olympics. Well, my coach didn't like that, and he decided not to coach me at the Olympics. And I got 6th place at the 2020 Olympics, and I had 48 hours to go home because it was COVID, and I changed my flight from going back to University of Texas to Austin. I changed it to go to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I ended up moving in with my boyfriend at the time, now my husband, and I had movers just to go pick up my stuff. I never said anything to the coach. I never told him goodbye. And morally, it messed me up, but it turned out for the better. And I see him every so often, and I don't give him like the torrid love that I used to give him, but yeah, that was one of the biggest pivot moments of my life. I didn't ask questions, I didn't ask permission from anyone, I just did it. And that was when I definitely grew up.
For you to have been so young and have followed your gut in the way that you do, that you did, is that something that you default to often, or in that moment, did it just kind of take over?
I think it's a default because I grew up the only child from 11 to 18, so I was very alone all the time. But in that moment, I felt so helpless because why am I like worried? Like, why am I asking permission about my life from other people? Yeah. And I couldn't wrap my head around, like, why am I asking permission?
Yeah.
Why am I asking permission just to do it? And I just did it, and I changed that flight and did not look back.
Wow.
And you're here.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I guess I got the question mixed up from the other one, sorry. But I think just going back to the kidney disease, I feel like that was so life-changing, and having to change the way that I basically did everything. I mean, I was working out and doing gymnastics, and it was at this time, like learning in the beginning when everything was, I think, the worst that it's ever been. I gained 45 pounds overnight of water retention, and just trying to navigate that, like looking in the mirror and not recognizing who I was very, very difficult. And it definitely made it hard to wake up every single day to just be motivated to do anything. I didn't want to step out the house. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to take pictures. And that was very hard because I take care of myself as well as everyone else in my life, so I couldn't really afford not to go to work and not to do all of this stuff. So it's really hard, and I think now, even looking back, I'm like, wow, like I really did look so different. But knowing what I had to overcome to go to the job and do what I had to do, I think is the most important and special part about it. But yeah, I feel like
That's a big pivot.
yeah, it was
That's a
very,
big
very
pivot.
big pivot.
Do you feel like with the lifestyle changes that had to been made and just kind of, learning yourself, a new version of yourself, are there any of those things that you implemented then that you still carry with you and implement today?
I think it made me very, very, like a very angry person, because it was something that I couldn't control, and it just ripped away like one of the most important things for me. So I was very isolated. I didn't talk to people. It was hard to get in contact with me. I moved into an apartment by myself, and I just kept myself in there in that little bubble. The only people that I talked to was my coach and my doctor. And I remember calling my coach, it's like the same thing as you, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm ugly, I'm fat, like, I don't want to put on a leotard. Like, nobody even recognizes me, it's embarrassing. And he was just like, you're beautiful. Like, he was like, you are an amazing athlete. And he was like, if you want to be done, be done. And I was like, what? I was like, huh?
Again,
like,
fight back.
I was like, why are you, and I literally was like, why are you okay with that? And he's like, because you already accomplished everything. He was like, I'm so proud of you for who you've become. He was like, F the gold medal. Like, you as a person is, like, you are so strong and such an independent and amazing woman. And I really had to sit back and think in that moment. So yeah, that was like a really pivoting moment, and I'll never forget that because my coach has just been such an amazing support system for me, and he's basically my second dad. I look to him for everything, and I talk to him almost every single day. Like, they miss me in the gym, he misses me bugging him and being annoying, but it's just like, we have such a good dynamic, and I think it's also so important to be surrounded by people who listen to you, and not listen to you as in like you give demands, but listen as in like they hear you and they see you and they want you to be better, and they're willing to do everything to be better, to make you better, but you guys are also willing to do it together. Yeah. So you're all growing, and I think that was really cool for all of us.
Yeah. Ladies, you all have shared such impactful, incredible stories. And Tara, as we wrap up, you recently posted on Instagram, I thought I was doing this for myself. Oh. You're like, that could have been Turns out I wasn't. To all the girls watching, this is for you. What do you hope that young girls take away from your story?
I hope that they can see that they can lead with joy in their sport. I feel like all sports are led with seriousness and anger and regret from whoever's coaching them. And I want to show that you can have fun. You can be fun, you can have joy in your sport, you can love your sport and love what you're doing without it being degrading. Yeah. I feel like we push ourselves so much in our sport to the point where we're small. And no, babe, you're big, you're large, you can do this, and you have control of your mind, your emotions, and everything that you put forth.
Well, we appreciate you sharing your joy with us today.
Thank you.
And Suni, what about you? What do you want girls to take away from your story?
I guess I want them to enjoy it, but also trust yourself and give yourself grace. I think it's so special when you do find that self-confidence and you know your worth. I think it's I had it in the back of my head, but now I forgot. I think I'm just I wake up every single day and I try to be the best version of myself that day. And I think it's so important that you're not pushing for perfection. That's not realistic. That's social media, which is not real. And so I try not to compare myself as much as possible. So I would just say to young girls, just try to be a better version of yourself every single day. It's the little things, I think, that matter the most. I'm gonna put my makeup on today. I feel good. And then it makes me wanna get dressed and go outside and do whatever I wanna do, It doesn't have to be, today I'm going to the Olympics. It has to be something that you can get through every single day to where it's challenging you and it's making you better, but also enjoy it because you never get these moments back, and it's so much fun when you do just sit there and enjoy it with your people and have such an amazing support system.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask the quintessential wrap-up question.
Okay.
What's next? And how do you wanna be remembered beyond your gold medals?
What's next? I think right now, for me, I'm still kind of enjoying my last Olympics. I haven't really thought much about the next one, just because I've already done 2, so in my head, I'm okay, I really accomplished everything I want to, but we'll see. It's not out of the picture yet. And I want to be remembered as, your best friend, I just want to be that person that's, always there to support you whenever you need it, but also I want to be an inspiration to not only just Asian women, I think women that have to go through so much adversity, because you can't get to where you are without really going through it. And
I
it
agree.
makes you stronger, it makes you hot, it makes you all of the things.
It
I
does
feel
make you
like.
hot.
Yeah, yeah.
In moderation. Adversity in moderation does in fact make you hot. Tara, what about you?
Yeah. I want to give me the question again.
What is
This
next?
is so good.
And how do you want to be
Oh,
wrapped
what's
up?
next? Right. What's next? What's next? Right.
What's next?
I go home.
Okay.
What's next is there's Ultimate Championships this year.
Okay.
So this year's supposed to be an off year. So we have like 2 years, 1 year, 2 years. It's weird. Okay. This is an off year, and so there's no real world championships. There's no Olympics.
Yeah.
It's just a year. And so World Athletics has made a track meet, and it's called Ultimate Championships. You get an automatic bye if you're the gold medalist from the last Olympics, and if you are a world champion. And that means this is like the mini Olympics. And it's like the best of the best. It's not the day of you get to come. It's if you are ranked #1, if you won that Olympic gold medal, you get to go. And it's going to be very hard competition. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be in Budapest, Hungary.
We'll be watching.
Yeah, September.
I'll
Okay.
be watching.
And how do you want to be remembered? Outside of the medals.
I want to be remembered as just Tara. Like, that's just her. I want to be
Leading with joy.
and wildness and goofiness and not so serious. Like, I just want to be remembered that she doesn't take life seriously. She's just a ball of energy or something. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a hard
Well,
question.
if today has been any indication, I think you will 100% be remembered as someone who is fun, who is vibrant.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Both of you ladies have been so wonderful. So again, that brings us to the end of our chat. But I do again have to thank Suni and Tara for sharing their stories and showing us what it looks like to show up and use your voice without apology. Shout out to all of you all for being here, for leaning in, for engaging with us, for coming to see these beautiful ladies. And if there's one thing that you take from today, I hope it's this, that your story matters, and even the parts that you are still figuring out and have not figured out. So whether it's through what you say, what you make, or how you move through the world, don't hold back. So stick around, connect with somebody new. You guys are free to stay here and mingle as you guys were before. And on behalf of myself, Suni, Tara, and Coach, thank you guys for joining us.